Hey guys, and welcome to Olivia's Catastrophe. You are here because it is my mid-semester break. I have 1 week off. We're going to do a lot of fun travel things around Melbourne. So we're starting literally right now. Today we are going to the Hot Springs Peninsula and we're going to relax in some hot springs. I will be reading throughout this vlog, but we're going to start with something exciting. Do you want to be in it?
Yes, please. Hi, it's so cold. Hi. We're relaxed.
Hey guys, good morning. We made it back and the hot springs were absolutely fantastic. It was so relaxing and soothing to be there. We grabbed some macas on the way back home and now I'm just going to edit my weekend vlog that I took the weekend we went on the wine tour, so that'll be up by now, so you should go over there and check that out. And I'm going to do some reading, so the reading part of this reading vlog will start because today it's going to be a reading day. I'm going to meet a booktuber and then just read some more. Hey, so I'm about to go to my friend's to watch a horror movie, but for the last hour and a bit I've been reading, wow, you really can't see that. I've been reading, it's impossible to see. I've been reading The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang and I've started it. I've read 4 chapters, which is about 80 pages, and it is interesting. I know it's going to be a fantasy and I knew that when I was going in, but at the same time I was really surprised. I feel like there are some things that I can just predict that I know are going to happen because we've read enough fantasy books for us all to be like, okay, this is what's going to happen. And some of the things that, like, minor things, not huge plot twists, that I thought like, okay, it's going to happen like this and this and this, it's happening that way. But at the same time, this one is really interesting. I'm really interested in the Spearleys and seeing a bit more of this like perspective that we're getting on like history and natives, because the Spearleys kind of seem to be enacting the role of natives. I'm liking it. I'm not loving it. It doesn't seem too unique to me yet, but I'm only 80 pages into this like big chunker, so we'll see where it goes. Hey guys, so it is the next day and I wanted to talk a little bit about The Exorcist. So we watched the original Exorcist together and I have to say that I was a bit underwhelmed. It was a very long movie and it was incredibly slow paced in the beginning. It took way too long to get to the point. And then when it did, personally, I didn't find it very scary, but I was still bearing in mind that it is an old movie, so a lot of the effects are quite old and outdated, and that's just what you get. I can understand why people were running from the cinema screaming back when it came out, and towards the end there were a couple scenes that were like creepy but just didn't really scare me. So I just feel like the first hour of that movie could have totally been cut out. And as for reading, last night before I went to sleep I did some more reading and I read a quarter of The Sun Is Also a Star. It reads very quickly, so when I do pick it up I do just read like 50 pages in one go very quickly, but I don't pick it up often because I'm not really enjoying it. I do think that now that I've gone over the introductory bit, it's getting better. Like, it's getting a little bit cute, they have some really nice romancy times, and I do like Daniel as a character. I think he's pretty adorable and he's pretty funny and everything. Natasha, I'm not too keen on. She seems a bit too standoffish and she is just not really someone I enjoy reading about, and there are some things that bother me. Little bits like him calling her African American just based on the fact that she's black, rather than saying, oh, I'm falling for a black girl. She's like, oh, we could have like Korean American, African American babies, but you don't know she's African American. It really bothers me when people keep assuming because you're black, you're African American. No, that's not always the case. Those words are not interchangeable. And yeah, so just little things are niggling at me, and I still think it's a lot of tell, not show, but it's marginally better than it was before. Guys, I'm just back from the shopping centre. I'm so happy because I've got earphones, as you can see. I can finally listen to my audiobook while walking to class again. And I got hiking boots, so you know what we'll be doing this week? I just bulk filmed 4 videos for YouTube, so if you see me wearing this in literally every YouTube video in October, that is the reason why. 21st of October, guys. So in October, as you will have seen from another video, I have a lot of reading plans. And you just saw me do some yoga, by the way, and I was learning some new poses, which is why one of them looks really graceful because that new pose went well, and the other one looks like I'm struggling because I'm still learning it. But as you might have heard, I'm doing library loves this month, and I just went, ooh, I'm gonna tip over the stack. I just went to my library and got some books, so let's do a little quick library haul. So as you can see from the big King, we have It by Stephen King, and this is one I've been meaning to read for a very long time. I want to watch the movie, so I thought it's a good idea to read it first. I got Middlemarch by George Eliot, just because it looks interesting, and lots of people read this in first year of uni, but I didn't take epic into novels, so I never got to read it. It's huge, so maybe when I don't know when I'm going to get to that. I also got T.S. Eliot collected poems. I read Wasteland and I didn't like it, so I'm just going to try some more of his poems. I'll happily DNF this if his poetry style just isn't for me consistently, no stress. I also got Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. So when I saw this one around Bookstagram and blogs, I wasn't really excited, I didn't really think much about it, but I just keep on hearing good things, so I'm going to give it a go, and again I'll be buddy reading this with someone. I did mention I'm doing a lot of buddy reads, so I also got out My Sister the Serial Killer, which is one I've got back home as well, so I'll just be reading that here. And then last but not least, I got this really beat up copy of Beartown by Frederick Backman. Long time ago, back when nobody watched my channel, I reviewed My Grandmother Asked Me to Tell You She's Not Sorry by Frederick Backman, and I really enjoyed that book. I loved it actually, and I cannot wait to read more of his. I've heard that this one is emotionally hard hitting, so I do need to be in the right mood. I also wanted to give you a bit of a reading update because I have been reading. So I read 7% of Nisha at last, and this is a book that I'm reading on my phone. So when I'm in public, either on the bus or just in a queue, I just whip out my phone and I've got my Kindle app, and I always have one book I read incredibly slowly on there. When I was shopping with my friends the other day, I have a friend who takes a long time to make up her mind when she's shopping, so I just read on my Kindle while she's deciding between two things, and I read 7% of Aisha at last. I thought this was a young adult romantic read, but it's actually an adult romance contemporary, so just be aware of that. But I really do like that we have two Muslim main characters, and they're talking about how Muslim religion is different for each of them, and they've also got some other things that they're trying to face in this book. So I'm looking forward to reading further. I also read halfway through How to Belong with a Billionaire, and this is the first new adult Alexis Hall book that I don't think I'm going to give 5 stars, because it's just not what I want. Like, it's not what I wanted for these characters after all this time. I do love Bella Rose, he's a great character, and the representation in this is amazing. I didn't realise I could use this for the disability readathon, because we do have a main character who is using a wheelchair and trying to get used to using a wheelchair, so I can count it for that rep. So we've got some wheelchair user rep in this one. We've got a pansexual character as always and a gay character as always. Those are our two main love interests. But we also have a trans woman in this book, which I didn't expect to have. And George is a nice character. I don't love her as much as other people seem to do in reviews, but she's a nice character. And we also have, I don't want to be misidentifying them because they never use the term themselves, but from the way they're describing themselves, they are an aromantic character. So lots of representation across the board, and I love seeing the friendships bloom, but it's just not what I expected from the book. Anyway, I'll keep reading. It's a sunny day, so I'll probably read outside and update you later. Just finished reading Spin a Soft Black Song by Nikki Giovanni, and the illustrations are really lovely in it, and it's cute and everything, but even though it's a children's book, I still feel like she could have done a little bit more of it. Like, some of those poems were approaching what I would want for a children's poetry collection, but some of them were just a bit too short and a bit too simplistic. Rupi Kaur style, actually. Guys, so I'm here with Leah.
Hi.
We were supposed to be camping and hiking. Well, we're supposed to be on the way now, but we had some trouble.
Because I'm stupid.
No, it's a mistake anybody makes, but we need an international license, so we tried to get an emergency one, and maybe we'll be going soon.
Hopefully.
But we get coffee first somewhere. Hey guys, Good morning. I'm in the tent and I didn't vlog during the night because it was dark and we were struggling to set up tents and make pasta, which we successfully did. And we slept. It was cold, it rained, but this is our tent. We fit 3 people into this tent with all of our stuff, which was very tight and very cozy. And now we're going to make some lovely breakfast of oatmeal and water and get back to hiking again because we've got a way to go for the next campsite. It's day 2. How did we sleep? How are we feeling about... No? I thought you slept the best. Who's ready to hike? The most mixed enthusiasm. So, we are here on the beach and it's time, well, Faye's also here, Faye wants to say hi. And we are going to do a reading update because it's been a while since I've done one. So, before I came on this trip, actually, I finished How to Belong with a Billionaire by Alexis Hall. And I'm just a little bit disappointed because I waited 1.5 years for the finale and it didn't have enough Caspian in it. And when it did have Caspian in it, it didn't have enough of their relationship. So I'm very grateful that it had all this wonderful representation and that it focused on friendships, and that was all really cute and well done. But as far as the story goes, I wasn't a huge fan of George and it just wasn't for me. And while I've been here, well, I haven't been able to sleep at night because camping life, I've been listening to Sadie on audiobook. And again, I'm a little bit disappointed. It's not bad, but I feel no connection to this main character whatsoever, which is weird because she's such an angry character and she's ready to kill this person, but I'm not feeling the vibe. But yeah, I'm going to keep listening because it's very short and I'll finish it and let you know.
Wow, Olivia, you're such a genius for bringing this camera.
How are you guys feeling?
A little red.
Hey!
We're the Fit fam.
How do we feel about being the only people on this beautiful beach? Okay, yeet yourselves into the sea, guys! Guys, this is the 3rd and final day. How are you feeling?
I want to go home.
Yeah, I want to go.
My legs hurt so bad.
Legs are hurting, want to go home.
I love it.
See, we got love. It is pretty. It's just, yesterday was difficult.